Hello everyone, Logan Keister here of Notai Botanica, and I just want to introduce you my old dusty, or I guess I should say spory friend over here, Ganoderma oregonense, also known as the Cascade Reishi or Oregon Reishi. So this is one of our medicinal polypores. So for those of you who don't know, polypores are the family of mushrooms that you see growing off trees often like this, like a shelf, and the underside will be just a white pored surface. I will pull this one off in a second so I can show you it. But instead of having gills like most mushrooms, it has like those narrow gills, this will just have a white surface. And if you look under magnifying glass, you'll notice it's just all these tiny little holes, these little pores where it drops out its spores. And so you can see in this instance, it's totally coated in this brown. So this is actually not its natural color. It's a layer of spores right here. Here, let me give it a good old lick. Show you what we got going on under here. Ooh, that's a lot of spores. Wow, those are some good spores. Yeah, they have a very like cocoa powder texture, and they're actually medicinal. So they contain many different minerals as well as the provitamin form of D2. And then underneath you can see the beautiful varnished surface of this cap. Let's see if I can reveal it for you. So you can see here, it has this very smooth varnished surface right here, which comes from its other name, which is the varnish conch. And so there are other species of reishi out there, but this one is native to our region, and it happens to be one of the largest growing species of reishi in the world. In fact, right above our heads, I'm not sure if you can see it up there on that log, but it's a big 3-foot monster that we wish we could get down, but it's about 15 feet up there. I'm not sure how we're going to get it down. So I think we're just going to leave that one up there to set down spores, but we got this one right here that we could harvest. And it seems like it's a good time to harvest it too, because it's already dropped all of its spores. You can see they're all blanketing the top of the cap. And that's a good sign that it's already done reproducing for the year, because these are actually annual mushrooms. They only grow for 1 year. So that big 3-footer out there, it grew that big in one season. So this one might be a good one to harvest, but it's always good to be very conscientious, because it's good to leave these mushrooms around, help spread their spores, and see how many of them around you see. You don't want to be harvesting mushrooms when there's only a few around here. I've been coming to the spot for many years, and I've seen several around here. And it's been kind of the lowest year I've actually seen reishi growing out here, so I might not harvest more than 1 or 2, just to be ethical, since I'm not seeing the normal dozens and dozens I usually see around here. But I love to take these home, and what I think I'm going to probably do is I'm going to make a nice medicinal tea or a medicinal bone broth with this and save it around for the winter time, because it's a really great immune modulator. So it helps with strengthening our immune system, helping to better regulate inflammation throughout the body and our body's own natural immune responses, ensuring that we don't overreact to a pathogen that comes in contact with us, and our body just starts having a really intense immune response when it doesn't really need to have such an intense immune response. Versus the other way around, where someone gets sick and they just kind of have a low-grade kind of sickness going on, but they can never really fight it off, and they kind of just stay this prolonged sickness that never gets better. So reishi is a good preventative. So this is something that you would use before you get sick to help strengthen your body's own innate defenses. Typically, we don't use it in an acute illness when we're actually directly sick in the moment, and we want to use it beforehand. And so it's really specifically indicated for people who normally just kind of catch whatever bugs come in around. If you're the kind of person where it's every time it's cold or flu season, you always get the cold or the flu, or, you're always prone to getting sick, obviously you want to do the first things, sleep, diet, getting good water, all those things, good stress management. But if you're doing all those things and it's still not, your immune system still having issues, it's good to start thinking about looking towards those immune modulators, because that could show that there's maybe an underlying communication issue within the body. And these mushrooms really work on that level of cellular communication, increasing cytokine signaling, that intracellular, intercellular communication throughout the body. And that's really how it helps with regulating inflammation as well as the immune system. It's also been used a lot in cancer therapies, so that's why it's we get the triterpenes from it, and we do alcohol extractions often for those because they have more of the properties that are shown to help with reducing cancer cell growth. And the polysaccharides, which work with more of those benefits we were talking before with the modulation of inflammation as well as immunity. But really what I love about these is the way it makes me feel. If I make like a really strong tea, like, you know, if I take this home and I slice it up and like really simmer it for like 6 hours and drink a few cups of tea that's really strong, it's like my mind is just in this very lucid, relaxed place. Like, it's like euphoric. It's like, really, they talk about it as a wisdom remedy. It really kind of cultivates that inner wisdom, learning to like follow our hearts and follow our own true wisdom and guidance. And I think a lot of it has to do with that kind of like cellular communication through the body and stuff. I think it really helps to harmonize and gets our bodies communicating better with ourselves in that way. It's a really true remedy of wisdom. But in the immediate sense, when you take a strong dose of the medicine, you can really just feel that like lucidness, that dreamness. It really puts you into a very meditative, calm state. So that is one reason I really love working with this mushroom. Well, I hope you all found that interesting. I'm probably gonna go just sit here and lick some more of these spores because they're really, really good. Kind of want to make like a spore hot chocolate or something. I mean, look at these things. Like, just looks like hot chocolate, doesn't it? It looks like cocoa. So I'm gonna go drink mushroom cocoa, but I hope you all found that interesting. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.